رسوله النبي العمين المكين الحنين الكريم الرؤوف الرحيم إن الله وملائكته ويصلون على النبي يا أيها الذين آمنوا صلوا عليه وسلموا تسليما. Indeed, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala confers blessings upon the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and his angels. All you who have believed, ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for blessings upon him and ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant him peace. There's a story of when Aisha radhiyallahu anha was with the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. It goes as, one day I was with the Messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and he was in a cheerful mood. And so I said to him, Ya Rasulullah, please make dua for me. So he said, Allahumma gfili Aisha. May Allah forgive Aisha. And he continued saying, Oh Allah, forgive Aisha all her sins, the past sins, the future sins, the ones that she commits in private, and the ones that she commits in public. Then Aisha anha was so happy she began to smile and laugh. So the Prophet Muhammad asked her, did that dua make you happy? Did that dua please you? And she replied, Ya Rasulullah, how could that dua not please anybody? He said, Wallahi, by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, this is the same dua I make for my ummah every single day. In every single one of my prayers. Prophet Muhammad made that same dua for me and you. Just how much did he love us? He would cry in front of the Sahabas and say, I miss my brothers, the ones that I love. And they would say, Ya Rasulullah, aren't we your brothers? He would say, no, you are my companions, but my brothers are the ones that would come after me and they would believe in me even though they would never see me. This is us, brothers. Prophet Muhammad was crying for us 1400 years ago because he misses us. He would stay up in the night and pray to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and crying out, Ummati, 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 my ummah, my ummah, my ummah. When was the last time you cried for Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam saying, Ya Rasulullah, Ya Rasulullah, O beloved Messenger of Allah. That showed the extreme love Prophet Muhammad had towards us. Now let's speak about the love that we should have towards him. Several narrations mention that Milaad anhu would often call the adhan and then call Prophet Muhammad from his house because it was adjacent to the place where he would call the adhan. But the Messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala came out. So he went to call the Messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but he had seen Prophet becoming conscious then unconscious. And Bilal anhu said, what grief! I wish my mother had never given me birth to see that I would see this day, or that I had died before seeing this day. Because the Prophet was passing away and he was leaving the Sahaba and everybody that was at that time. And then Bilal anhu went on to call the adhan. The moment he reached Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah, Ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah, he looked for Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam to come out of his house. And when he looked for Rasulullah, seeing that he wasn't there, he began to choke and he began to cry, and all those around him began to cry. He couldn't proceed with the adhan. For the next 3 days, he tried to give the adhan, but whenever he reached Ashhadu anna Muhammad Rasulullah, he would choke and begin to cry. So he went to Abu Bakr anhu and said, Oh Abu Bakr, please allow me to leave, because he couldn't bear living in Medina without the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He said, Oh Abu Bakr, allow me to leave, because without the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, I heard the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam mention the virtues of jihad, and I want to do jihad. And Abu Bakr said, Oh Bilal, no, stay with me, I need you Bilal. And Bilal said, Oh Abu Bakr, if you free me for yourself, then keep me. But if you free me for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then please let me go. And Abu Bakr allowed him to go. Later, then Bilal anhu began to see a dream of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. In the dreams, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam would say, What is it, Bilal, that you never come to visit us? And he woke up and began running towards Medina. When he reached the grave of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he began crying. He began to remember his Habib. Then Hassan and Hussein anhu, the grandchildren of Prophet Muhammad said, Oh Bilal, please please give the adhan. And so this was the grandchildren of Prophet Muhammad, so he couldn't deny. And so Bilal anhu got up and gave the adhan. The narrations mention that Medina erupted. It brought back the memories of days of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And Bilal anhu tried to stay in Medina after that, but he couldn't. Everywhere he looked, it reminded him of where the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam used to walk, where he used to talk to them, where he would would address the people. Then came the occasion of the conquest of Masjid al-Aqsa. All the Sahaba were there. Sar Habib ibn Hasana, Khalid ibn Walid, Muad ibn Jabal, and they all went up to Umar anhu and said, "Oh Umar, request Bilal to give the adhan." And Umar anhu asked Bilal to give the adhan. And narration mentioned that when Bilal anhu came to the part of the adhan where it said, "Ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah," those beards of the Sahaba, when they embraced Islam, they were black. And now they had become gray and they were drenched with tears. There was no Sahaba left whose beard was not drenched. They had to console Umar anhu because it reminded them of being in the company of Rasulullah. Bilal anhu had given the adhan in the Haram of Mecca, in Medina, the Masjid of the Prophet Muhammad, and now in Masjid al-Aqsa, the three most holiest places. And then Bilal anhu passed away in the 20th year in Damascus. While he was on his deathbed, his wife began to say, "What grief?" And Bilal said, "No. What happiness? For tomorrow I will be in the company of Rasulullah and his Sahaba." Can you imagine being on your deathbed, excited for what will come tomorrow because you will know that you will be with the beloved Rasulullah. They say this dunya is a prison for the believer, but for the kafir, the dunya is their paradise. For a believer, the dunya restricts them from being in the company of Prophet Rasulullah. But for the kafir, this dunya is a life of ease compared to the hellfire they will face.